The water pipe, or bong, has long been a piece of go-to pot paraphernalia for those seeking a smoother smoke. It's also been a creative canvas, both for those creating the bongs and for those using them. But have you ever wondered where that tube of glass comes from and who made it? LA-based Mota Glass asks and answers that question. Since November 2020, they've been working with a network of independent glass blowers in LA to create sturdy, beautiful pieces of functional art. I'm Adam Shorn, and this is The Green Room.
The cannabis users don't consider, something that they use daily, like their bong, but there actually is a whole nother world that has to do with the bong, where it's made. I think a lot of folks, will buy their bong from online or a smoke shop, and then that's the end, right? Where did your bong come from? The store.
Where do most bongs come from?
Yeah, a lot of them are imported overseas.
Esta es una marca de mucho prestigio, la calidad es borosilicato. Se usa para aparatos de laboratorio. Todo empieza con el corte. Esta es una máquina para hacer corte especial para este tipo de vidrio. El nombre del tipo de corte es termochoc. Bueno, esto es una tradición familiar. Yo nací en el vidrio, mis padres tenían fábrica de vidrio. Entonces, desde que tengo uso de razón toda la vida. Bueno, como yo tengo mucha familiaridad con el vidrio, no se me hace difícil, es casi inmediato. Cada vez que me enseñan un nuevo modelo lo puedo hacer inmediatamente. Yo soy autodidacta en todo el sentido de la palabra. Tengo estudios de mecatrónica, mecánica y electrónica que se suman a mis conocimientos del vidrio, entonces me facilita para poder crear nuevos métodos, diseños, herramientas. Entonces todo esto lo puede obtener en un año exactamente.
In a lot of cases, you'll have importers that really do nothing more than order finished pieces from overseas, decal them locally, and then distribute them to shops or customers around the country. Okay. The worst culprits will put their decal on the piece here and then say, oh, it's made in the US. That message then gets carried across to the retailer. The retailer happily echoes it because it drives up the possibility of a sale for them. Right. But the reality is that the piece is not made here in the US, and it's undercutting the value of glass blowers that are here in Los Angeles, for example, that are spending the time to make these pieces and get them out to customers.
Después del corte, se tiene que hacer lo que es la boquilla, el mouthpiece, en otra máquina. En esta máquina se hace la boquilla, es una máquina que tiene una automatización. Posteriormente a la boquilla viene el soplado, ya en el torno. El soplado se realiza en esta máquina, el soplado en esta máquina y con diferentes torch. Que sea fabricado en los Estados Unidos, primeramente. Bueno, yo personalmente puedo hacer 30 completas en un día. Sí, y dependiendo del diseño, hay diseños que demoran más, otros que son más rápidos, ¿no? Pero un beaker bien hecho, 30 beaker en un día.
We drew the Mota Glass logo on our kitchen table. And it was both of us kind of figuring out, what's going to work. And we sent it to one of my really good friends who is a designer. And then boom, we had a logo.
In Spanish, it means speck, like a speck of dust,
but
it's slang for
cannabis. It does. It also stands for something. Because of the truths that, were made aware of us about the glass industry, we wanted to give it dual meaning. So it actually stands for minorities for opportunity, transparency, and accountability.
Oh, so it's also an acronym. Okay.
Yes, it is. It also is an acronym because it stands for what we believe in. At the end of the day, Mota Glass really was created to address two major things in the cannabis industry, functional glass industry as well, is this mass importing of functional glass from overseas that devalues local production, but also the continued marginalization of an overworked and underpaid minority workforce. Like those are the two main things that we're focusing on.
Do you feel there's a visibility issue with Latinos in the cannabis industry?
Yes, a lot of the times Latinos are the backbone of this industry, but are not really given that representation. So with Mota Glass, we're putting Latinos in the forefront and showing, not only have they been in the industry, but they are the backbone and deserve that recognition.
El siguiente paso es poner el joint en esta mesa, en este soplete. Finalmente, en esta máquina se hacen los hoyos luego al horno para el tratamiento térmico, para el templado.
You work with how many artisans like Hector?
Oh, at this time, we're working with about 4, you know, in the California area. People are demanding quality, they're demanding transparency. And I think as this trend continues, we're gonna keep growing because more people want that quality and they want that, you know, they wanna know who it's helping at the end of the day, glass blowers.
The long-term goal from a manufacturing and operational standpoint is to grow into a business that employs a number of glassblowers in a traditional manner, that provides them with fair living wages, that gives them benefits, that gives them some of the standard expectations that one would want from any job that is their livelihood. And that's something that we don't really feel exists, particularly within this community.
Es en varios aspectos. En el aspecto económico, porque ellos comprenden que los costos son altos y que los precios de Asia son muy bajos, entonces con ellos he podido incrementar los precios, entonces el beneficio es económico también. Y el otro beneficio es lo que ellos persiguen, el apoyo a la comunidad, para que también sean como ejemplo para que otros empresarios apoyen a colegas míos, a otras personas que producen lo mismo.
We have a whole different, you know, focus on what we want to do for the community, which ultimately we've built something that we called the Mota family. What we mean by that is during the quarantine specifically, folks weren't able to smoke together. So what we started is we started asking people, send us videos of you smoking. And so if you go to the Mota Glass Instagram page, you'll see people smoking 24 hours a day. And they send us stuff, they tag us. And it's become a community where you're never smoking alone. I feel like there should be a responsibility when businesses are in the position to profit, where they have a responsibility to give back in some way. And so our commitment to the community is how we do that, you know, to be able to empower, especially Latinos and communities of color, to know that, you know, be proud of cannabis use. And being part of this community definitely has that layer of be proud of your cannabis consumption.